Oikomi Tsuki is a little bit similar to Tsuki. I'm going to show it from the side first. Oitsuki, we have already studied it before, while Oikomi Tsuki, basically it's punching first and then stepping. Punching first. The moment in which my toe leaves the floor, then I step back, I step forward. One more time. Oitsuki, my arm and leg arrive at the same moment, while with Oikomi Tsuki, my arm goes first with the hip completely on the other side, and then my leg follow. So basically, I am anticipating my opponent by doing this, okay? It's like unexpected technique. That's why it's very useful to study this technique and also to use it during the kumite. Okay, so Oikomi, like this. I push until this last second I can push. My hip is completely on the other side, and then I step forward. Like this. Let's try with the other leg. Right forward. You can also start from Gedanbarai, so we can feel the hip completely lateral, the hip completely lateral on the other side, and then step forward. It's like a bow, okay, like an arch. I'm stretching my bow, tensing my body, and then I let the arrow go in one moment. So, like this. And of course, we combine this Oikomi Tsuki with Tsuki, with Urakenuchi. We can have fun with this technique. Tsuki, for example. But the important part is that you do Oikomi until the end. That you don't do Oikomi very short to do the second technique. So Oikomi, Tsuki. Oikomi, Tsuki. Or we can do Oikomi, Urakenuchi, but this will be for later, maybe. Okay, something like this. Because here again, you need to do both techniques when you perform this Oikomi. So for the moment, let's continue to study with Oikomi technique with the left leg on the front. Gedanbarai, Oikomi, I throw my punch, and then I do Tsuki. Let's do three with Kiai together. Ich, ni, san, other leg. So let's start with the right leg in front. Oikomi is a punch that starts more or less from the same distance of Oitsuki, but it's like this. So basically, the punch arrives first, and then the legs follow. It's like this. Okay, when I do it fast, it's like this. My opponent is coming, and I first go with very long technique. Oitsuki, leg and arm are more or less, arrive more or less at the same time. With Komi, I hit first and then my leg follow. Okay, like this. Let's do it a couple of times. So first, simply feel this movement. This movement. And the hip is completely lateral. With this one, it's like this. Completely lateral on the other side. We can combine this technique with a lot of techniques. So Komi is very useful also in combat because sometimes it's difficult to do like Oitsuki. Your opponent can see you. So with Komi, it's a much faster technique. So let's do it a few times here in the back. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, ach, ku, ju, hey. With the other arm, other side. Again, let's first think at the connection between the feet, hip, and technique in the moment of impact. So I can even stay not doing the step forward for the first 3, just to feel the movement and the hip dynamic. It's like you need to go towards the opponent. You can see how these techniques can be connected to something else. This is very, very nice technique. When you do also kumite, you can do a lot of things. You will have fun. You will have fun. We will have fun together. So, other 3. Ich, ni, san. And again, at the end of the training, you should have these 2 knuckles a little bit more red, not these ones. Okay, don't hit with this because you will hurt your hand. These 2 knuckles should be a little bit more red. Welcome back to Karate for Beginners. This is Simona, and today we are going to study another technique that adds to the sequence of attacks of your own kumite strategy. So, again, we can start from kamae, and we imagine that we develop our attack from Kizamitsuki, Yakutsuki. Okay, so simply Kizamitsuki, Yakutsuki. Last time we did Kizamitsuki again. That could be, Kizamitsuki, Yakutsuki, could be frontal or could be lateral. Okay, however, what is crucial here is to watch what your opponent is doing. And by watching it in a millisecond, I want to decide which technique to do next. So for example, I do Kizamitsuki, Yakutsuki, and I can do, if I see that my opponent is here, I can do Kizamitsuki. However, if my opponent is going a little bit farther away, I have a bunch of other techniques that I could use, like For example, Dea Shibarai, Oitsuki, from here, Komi, Oitsuki. So today, I want to study with you Komi, Oitsuki. And why? This is a very powerful technique, because you don't know what your opponent is doing or how far your opponent is going back. Because imagine that you have done Kizamitsuki, Oitsuki, your opponent is going back. Okay. However, with Komi, you are protecting yourself. You are protecting yourself from another Jodan attack. Okay. And then you do Oitsuki. However, depending on how far is gone your opponent, you can decide, I place my foot here, even doing like a very short position, okay? Or I can put my foot here and I do a bigger position. So this gives me a lot of possibilities. And I have to say, I've used these techniques a number of times. So Kizamitsuki, Oitsuki, Komi, Oitsuki, both techniques are Jodan. So Kizamitsuki, Oitsuki, I can see if my opponent is next to me, I stop here with a little, very small position. If my opponent is going farther away, I can cover a bigger distance. And I like this technique a lot because it gives me this variability, this opportunity. So we will exercise it a couple of times with our left kamae. Hitch! Knee! San! Chi! Go! Rock! Sit! Hach! Cool! Ju! Hey! Let's do it now from the right side. Kizamitsuki, Oitsuki, Komi, Oitsuki. Right side. Hitch! Knee! Ta! Chi! Roll! Rock! Sit! Hach! Cool! Ju! Why? So, how was your training? Let me know it in the comments below. Give me a thumb up if you like this video, and you see how exciting is this kind of training. You really are going to feel the technique in our body applied to a real situation. Could be a real life situation sometimes. I have to say I've never been in this kind of situation, luckily enough. And this is when it's becoming actually fun, okay, to develop the different possibilities of your body, to react at the right timing, to watch to what is happening, because you need to watch your opponent, how far is she or he, and to react with the proper technique at the right distance, at the right timing. So with this training, I wanted to challenge you, and I will see you in this dojo in the next video. Bye!